Hi, good afternoon. It is the afternoon after the night before. The night before was XG in London, Wembley Arena for the first Howl tour. Yeah, what can I say? Was so excited, so excited. Just been, we were waiting for them to come on tour. So yesterday I was thrilled to be able to go with my daughter and her friends. And I thought we would talk a little bit about it. We are going to spill the tea, literally, on what happened. We're going to talk about the good stuff, lots of good stuff. And there was a couple of things that made me say, so we'll talk about that as well. But if you are heading to any of XG's upcoming tours, you're going to have a fantastic time. I will say that straight away. Now, I have to apologize. I will probably input some, editing some footage from the show yesterday. The quality isn't great. I'm sorry. Please tell me the best Android phone for filming concerts that can handle the lights. Okay, so Wembley Arena, XG, first Howl. The girls were fantastic. You know when you go to a concert and all the tunes that you love sound even better live? For me, it was like that. They sounded even better live. The choreography is excellent, as we know, and it was all on point. It was all very tight. The costumes, I don't know where their stylists get their creativity from. I mean, only they can carry off some of the outfits they wear, but they looked fantastic. The makeup, just everything. Okay, I have to apologize. I can already hear one of the cats scraping the door trying to come inside. So there's going to be a lot of noise in this video. I've got the washing machine going. I've got cats trying to come in. So bear with me. I'm trying to get this video done today. So as I was saying, the actual show itself overall was superb. They started with Shooting Stars, I believe, like the rock version, and they had all these like black sunglasses that kind of were like just exquisite. I mean, I was so hyped by that point. They could have come on and sung Bar Black Sheep for all I care. But that was excellent. And they really kind of came on all guns blazing. They kind of started with all the kind of recent tracks, all the heavy hitters. And even when they did their solos, I don't know about anybody else, but usually when I go to a concert and they have solos, you know, there are some solos you kind of look forward to more or you preferred more. But what I really enjoyed in this concert is that they all held their own. Now, I'm very much a rap girl. I'm very much rap biased, whether it's a male group, female group. I always tend to bias the rappers. But I would definitely say all of them were excellent. Julia did an Adele cover. Hello. Wow. If you've never really appreciated her voice before, that song was such a fantastic choice, and I can see why they kind of chose it, because it's Adele and it was the UK. But her voice, her tone, it sounded so great, and they really managed to get the volume of the mics right with the backing track, because sometimes you find that the mics may be a little bit low and you can't quite hear, but you could hear the words clearly throughout all of the performances. But her voice really stunned me on that. Then Hinata came on, and I believe she did a Taylor Swift cover. Now, I'm not a Swiftie. I like the odd track, but people were singing around me, so I guess they all enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it because she just looked so cute. I liked her costume as well. It was kind of a bit more alien-y, had these kind of, I don't know, these things, these kind of hoop bits coming off the shoulders. But she looked great. Again, stage presence was just fantastic. Her voice sounded great. And then, who knew? Chisa. Wow. Wow. She did Lady Gaga, Born This Way. I thought I was at her concert because the way she had like this whole routine going on, like just her by herself, and she commanded that stage. It was such fun watching her. She obviously had a blast doing that track. Loved it. All of the solos are great. The rap as well. What can I say? Kokona came out and that girl, she literally is like some kind of alien being, because I don't understand how she's able to be so cool, so calm, so confident. It's like she's just, it was like that was her home, that stage. She was just there doing her thing, you know, on those 808s. Oh, brava, brava. But you know, Kokona's my baby. Loved it. All of them, every single one of them. I think I went to bed last night with boing, 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 boing in my head because of that track. It was such fun. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, just the production in terms of the mixing was superb, because you could hear everything clearly, and they actually had the words up on the screen. I mean, I was a bit far back, to be fair, to be able to squint enough to see all of the words clearly, but they had all of the song lyrics coming up on screen, which was great. So then you could like sing along if you really wanted to, if you wasn't busy like screaming your head off. And at one point, because obviously between the songs, sometimes they had little video segments, and at one point they had a video segment where, I think it was two actually, where they kind of showed the girls when they were just kind of starting training and going through that process a little bit. God, they look so young. It just makes you realize how young they started, how long they've been training for this moment, so to speak. And you can see how all that training has certainly paid off, because as we've seen, comeback after comeback, banger after banger. And then I can't even start on the album. I was going to do a review of Howl, but I just didn't have time. But the album, again, In the Rain, what? Like I said, the rappers are strong, the vocals are strong, the vocal line's strong as well. So, but yeah, they had video segments, and at one point they had a video segment where it's just like wolves, a silhouette of wolves, and the whole auditorium started howling in time to when the wolves were howling. Again, I'll probably put a clip in. I apologise. My big gob is all over that video because I was howling and cracking up, and there was two guys I think in front of me who just kept cracking up at the howling, and that was fantastic. I mean, that was such a laugh, and I really think that if you're going to the concert and you see that video, I hope you all start howling. I mean, it goes on for a little bit, so you'll be howling for a while, but it was fun. It was fun to literally howl like a wolf. I would give the concert for the girls in terms of their actual show. I'd give them 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. Whenever they're next back here, I will definitely, God willing, be going to their concert. And the other thing I loved, and maybe it's because it's a girl group, and this is my first girl group concert, because I'm always so busy throwing my money at the men. Bad habit, that. Always so busy throwing money at the men. I've not yet made it to a concert for a female group. And I would say that sometimes that's been historically, when I first got into K-pop, I found a lot of the girl groups maybe a bit too cutesy. So it wasn't really my thing. I lean heavily more kind of R&B rap kind of side of things. But, you know, as we know, XG is just another kind of being unto themselves. So it was really nice to go to a concert with a female group and to see people really dress up and really get into the concept. And maybe because it's girls, other girls can kind of grab hold of the concepts more. But I've never seen so many furry leg warmers. Even my daughter wore them, and I'm very tempted to get my own, actually. Is it cool for a 52-year-old to wear furry leg warmers? Who cares? Like, sod that. If I want to wear them, I'll wear them. But she said her legs were very warm, so they're practical. But it was so good to see people really go to town with their makeup, their hair, the whole wolf theme. I had on like a kind of trapper hat thing going on, the super baggy camo and thick platform boot. Loved it. So Loved that. The whole atmosphere. There was a lovely girl. We were in Bread Ahead in Wembley before the concert, and there was a couple of girls, I think, behind us on another table. He came over and said, "Oh, are you going to the concert?" Like, yeah. And she had these little bags with stickers and little crocheted key rings. And, I love that about K-pop. I've never really experienced that. And I know it's not K-pop, but you know what I mean. I've not really experienced that going to other concerts in the past, but maybe that's a newer thing. If I went to other concerts, maybe other people are giving away little thank you things. So I don't know. I'd love to do something for other people when I go to another concert. Anyway, I digress. So, like I said, the whole atmosphere, everything was, loved it. Questions that need to be answered. Firstly, that whole DJ section, like, who was that? Please tell me that wasn't Simon. It didn't look like it was Simon. He looked, quite miserable, if I'm honest. Very serious, almost menacing. I felt like I was being auditioned to see if I had enough hype to be allowed at that concert. But that DJ section was very weird. The DJ section I get because the girls needed time to change. What I didn't get so much was the selection of music. It didn't quite hit the mark for me. It didn't seem quite XG all the time. He kept teasing Spice Girls, which I thought was great. We're in the UK, and I can see they were trying to choose UK songs. But when he did eventually play Spice Girls, Tell Me What You Want, he didn't even play much of it. So we got like little nanoseconds of it and then a little bit. And it was just very weird. And really the point of the DJ, I would have thought, would be to really get that hype, keep the hype going, because the girls have gone off stage, they've gone to change. You want to keep the vibes high. Obviously we're all flipping high on the vibes anyway, because it's X bloody G. But man, it was like somebody's uncle came on the decks and was, I don't know what these young people want to hear. Oh, I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. Oh, that's enough. And a bit of Elton John and Dua Lipa. I don't really like that song, so that killed it a bit for me. The one track I did like, he played Craig David. The tune escapes me now. Can You Fill Me In? I think it is. And he mixed it in with an XG track. That was really clever. That was a good track. But it was a bit weird. And when he came off, it was a bit like, wow, interesting. When XG on, it was like that. Very strange. And then the only other thing I would say, and no disrespect to the production team, the whole creative team, production team around XG, fantastic job, because they always maintain such a high level generally. But some of the gaps between the songs were a little bit long. It was almost like, they're not quite ready. I don't know what it was, but I felt like that could have flowed a bit smoother. So you kind of had tune and then the tune and I felt like they could have helped to keep that momentum going a bit better, because some of those the costume breaks, some of them were fairly long, but between songs when the girls are already on stage, it's like this is taking a touch longer than I would have expected from that team. But again, it wasn't enough to be a downer. It was just an observation. So I don't know, if you went to Manchester concert, did you notice that? What did you think of the DJ? I'm assuming he also played in the US. If you went to the US concerts, what did you think of the DJ? I know that every time they do the concert, the DJ set is going to be different. So maybe he was banging in some cities, but for me, I reckon I could have got up there and done better. I really reckon I could have. I don't know how to mix, but I still feel like I could have done a bit better. So, like I said, it wasn't enough to make the evening be ruined or anything at all. Just an observation. The other observation, and this is going to be something that might be specific to London, and I haven't really been online to see what people have been saying. When we walked in, now we had tickets back in the gods in the E block. If you know Wembley Arena, you've got N, S, C, D, E, and E's back there. It was the only tickets we could get because that damn concert sold out in a flipping nanosecond, and Ticketmaster, AXS, whoever we were using was kicking us out all over the place. So we were back in the gods, but we were just happy to be there. But when we got in, it became very evident, and I will insert a video and I hope it's clear. It became very evident that the whole of the back, all of the E block had been curtained off, and all of the upper tiers of the N and S blocks, north and south, had been curtained off. So therefore there were fewer seats. The other thing we noticed was that when the tickets were sold, I'm pretty sure that the tickets nearer the stage were standing tickets, but now it was all seated. So then we've come in and we're looking, we can see C and D, and we're looking up to where E is, and we're just seeing black curtains, and we're confused. We're thinking, okay, where are we supposed to go? And prior to this, one of the girls in the group said that their friend had been emailed saying, oh, your tickets have been upgraded. And we were like, wow, they're upgrading tickets? Like, did we get an email? Of course we didn't. So we showed somebody our AXS QR code to show where the ticket was meant to be. And he said, okay, you need to go and see this lady. And they had a couple of the Wembley Arena staff at a table with actual physical tickets. So we went over there, showed our code. She said, oh, all 3 tickets together? Yes. Gave us tickets. She says, oh, the best I can do is D block. I'm like, listen, that was better than the E, because we were up in the ceiling touching heaven. So if we're down in D, C, B, wherever you want to put us, it's a vast improvement. So we were like, cool. But I'm still perplexed, because how did we go from what was apparently a sold out concert to now whole sections being curtained off that previously appeared to be sold? Yes. If you were at London and you had tickets for the E block previously, or the upper tiers of the N block, where did you end up? I really want to know, because I'm trying to understand what happened here. And I'm not into conspiracy theories. Well, until they're proven right. But something very strange went on. And I'm very nosy. I tend, even if I've got tickets for a concert, I do check the website even days leading up to the concert, just to see if tickets become available. And I had noticed odd tickets here and there being available, and there was no indication that sections had suddenly been blocked off, and we didn't get an email notification to say anything. But I do remember seeing like a whole row, and I think it was in maybe the N block. I remember seeing a whole row, and I remember commenting to my daughter and her friend, you know, oh, there was a whole row of tickets that were available for sale. Didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, maybe they were production tickets that get released, because this happens. They save tickets for people, friends, whatever, and then they become available, and there you go. That's how we got to see, I think, BTS originally when they came to the O2 in Greenwich. We got those tickets a week before, because tickets were starting to be released, or people couldn't go, and yada, yada, yada. But whole blocks, anyway, I'm not going to say anything else about that. It was just very strange. But wow, I was happy. I was happy, because it meant we were closer, albeit still far, but closer to the action. And I'm just really disappointed that my camera on my phone probably isn't going to do it justice when I put bits and pieces in. But honestly, if you are going to XG, you're going to have a fantastic time. It's such a good show. Their catalogue of music is so great, for starters. So yes, I did lose my mind for Woke Up. I did kind of lose my mind for sure. I mean, Howl was so good live. Oh my God. And then when you're there, you can't help but go, oh, you can't help it. You can't help it. It's like you literally turn into a goddamn werewolf when when you're there. It was fantastic. So if you've been, Let me know your feedback on, I'd love to know what happened in Manchester with the DJ set. I wonder if he played the same music because it's still, you know, the UK. Did you notice there were kind of longish gaps between the songs, even though the girls were still on stage and didn't have to go off to change? And it was like, this is a little bit longer than I would anticipate. And then the crowd would get a bit quiet because we're like, okay, are they gonna sing now? So yes, thank you for watching. Until the next time, be good.